Hi, we are live. My name is Michelle Moras, and you are?
I am Dr. Smiley, publisher, but also the I am actually doing this new thing where I'm throwing barks. Is that the end of the show? Because usually when I throw barks, it's the end of the show.
Normally the barking is at the end, but this time it was a garbage truck, I'm quite sure. Anyways, this is Amplifluence. Thank you for much. Thank you for joining us. And he's about to bark again. So, Ken, what are we doing? We are amplifluence.com. And what is Amplifluence? So I can mute my mic for a minute.
Well, it is actually amplifying the influence of leaders, authors, speakers that are doing really good things in the world. Because most people that are doing good things in the world, they're not being amplified, which means distribution is being affected and impact. And don't talk to doggy. How are you? Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for explaining what Amplifluence is. Well, I told Larry to please stop barking.
I love the name Larry because Larry the dog sounds like a new sitcom.
Well, I had that's my brother. This is my brother Daryl. This is my other brother Daryl. That's
Exactly.
what I have on. Anyways, Amplifluence, yes, the whole amplifying your influence. We did a lot of that in our adventures over the past 2 weeks. And for those of you who are looking for our show, last week we missed you because we were in the midst of traveling and we had a lot of people with us, and it was almost impossible to do a show from our phones while we were at the DC mall, the mall.
Well, there was just a lot of ambient noise, more than Larry.
So what adventures did we do? What did we do, Ken? Because we were in your neck of the woods and we did the DC what?
Well, we did the DC Independence Day launch, and I want to give a big shout out to a man named Tony Barnett. And Tony Barnett, who created this book right here. Oh,
We
look
both
at us.
have it.
Look at us. You know, I challenged him to create something for us because even though I live in the DC area, I'm not a DC guy because I've been doing all this national stuff. You either have national relationships or you have local ones. And Tony has some of the best local relationships you could ask for. I mean, he has
Well connected.
people that are changing the world, people that love him, people that support every move he makes. He had more people come to the event than everyone put together.
You have to remember, we met Tony because we were introduced to him by
Shirley Lou.
Shirley Lou. Shirley Lou was the one who helped the girls, the ladies, the queens with our book launch. She invited us over for dinner. And then I said, we're still having problems of finding one more place for our event. And she says, oh, talk to Tony. Yep. You think of that New York, talk to Tony. And so I was like, oh my goodness, well, we don't want that kind of help. But anyways, we ended up going to Tony, and Tony connected us to some amazing places and people. And he was telling us poetry while we were at one of our mixers. And I'm like, Tony, this is amazing. Why don't you have this published? He goes, oh, I have it all over my phone. I'm like, that's great on your phone, but it can't reach anybody else. And so I think, and Ken and I are really good at this. We meet a lot of people who had a lot of knowledge, stories, poetry, love to give to the world that they hold to themselves. And what Ken and I do as amplifluencers is we help amplify that out of people. Are you one of those people? Are you one of those people who has a story to tell or a poem to share, a song in your heart, and you're afraid to let it out? You need to talk to one of us. Either get on my calendar or get on Ken's calendar, because the world is waiting for your voice.
I was going to say, talk to Tony. I mean, he acknowledged you at all 6 events as the person who believed in him and caused him to take action, and has this amazing book that he's even making better. And he sold out. He sold out all the books he bought.
I know.
and every person that bought the book, they were saying, do you have any more? Do you have any more? So I think Tony is really a triumph type of situation of brilliance unacknowledged.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So let's talk about the events he created, because I gave him carte blanche, like create in the DMV, DC, Maryland, Virginia. What are you going to do that makes authors say, this is part of a tour I want to be? And by the way, July 4th is not the time to pick a tour normally, but he created something that actually caused people to get on planes and come out to us. So, and share their independence of what they've done as a legacy. So we had, first of all, the iconic National Mall, Washington Monument, Lincoln Memorial, World War II Memorial, and just walking around the mall. Was that amazing?
It was beautiful.
I wish we had the photos to show, but I sent them to you, and we can have them as a link so people can download them. Right? Then we went right to, I can't even pronounce it. It's a pizza place, Papatello's.
Papatello's.
And he had so many people come to support his book. And these are people that are making DC and the DMV area inspired, happening, connected, etc. And then the next day I'm losing track, but I know the Library of Congress was one of his brainchild, that he got us in a place I'd never been. 37 years living in DC, and I'd never been to the Library of Congress. And I have to say, after experiencing it, I will do it 2-3 times a year. I mean, it is just, there's so many things to learn about it. Just the walls, just the quotes on the walls. That is a book by itself. And you have a new book with quotes. I don't know if you know this, but you have a book called Pearls of Wisdom.
I do.
And I got to meet your photographer.
Yes, Paul DeAnda from my high school days. He took this picture.
Yes.
It's stunning.
It is. It is.
And he got also in the DMV area.
He got to speak at Busboy and Poets.
Yes, he did. Well, that's one of the things I wanted to make sure people knew at these author launches that we do, these extravaganzas, is that every author that comes, you get a chance to come and speak about your book, why you wrote it, and what your hope for the world is. And it doesn't matter what genre you're in, being able to share what your heart is giving to you, or what you're sharing to the world, to an audience that actually cares. We're able to amplify you multi times. So not only is it Ken and I, it's every other author that's in there saying, oh my goodness, you've got to meet this. Oh, this book is awesome. Speaking of that, we have a 50 book challenge, and we also have the Amazon 100 review. Do you have that book?
Amazon? No, I don't. But it's because I think someone took it. I think everyone wants this book. So the Amazon 5-star review book, which we will put a link to, gives you access to all the books for free. All we ask is if you have something positive to say about the book, go to Amazon and say it. I mean, what a deal. It's not about collecting reviews. It's about actually sharing your work so that you actually get acknowledgement for the great things you're doing.
A Facebook user, I'm hoping it's Heather, says, go, Tony, looking forward to reading your poetry. And then
if it is Heather, she owes me my jacket. She took my jacket and I want it back.
Because you're both the same size, And then Karen says, good morning to you two. You both are awesome. Thank you, Karen. Okay, so now we did the multi-author thing. I'll share a couple of pictures from it. I think some of you who've watched my page, and you might be, I think I put it on the Amplifluence page, but we have some amazing pictures from that event. And so I'll share it again so you can find it. And then we'll share the Amazon challenge-y thing and the 50, what else?
Well, I want to say that when we do these events, we go to really cool places to eat. I mean, it's not just an experience of community, it's an experience of community at the table. And every time we were at the table together with all these authors, it was like people came alive with, I'm connected to people that I really understand and understand me. It's just a different level. It's so cool.
Yeah. And we're all there. I mean, the other thing about the multi-author launch extravaganza is they're not all perfect publishing clients.
Not at all.
Now, a lot of you don't understand that. Yes, Perfect Publishing was producing it, but it's Perfect Publishing because that's Ken, and Amplifluence, which is us. And we had authors who had self-published, who had other publishers. We were there just to help each other all lift.
Can I share why?
We're big with community.
And I want to share why we do this.
It is Heather, by the way.
Oh, it is Heather. You better say, I have been waiting every day for my jacket to arrive. So, my birthday's in August and I really expect that jacket. Oh, she's going to charge me for the jacket. That is not nice. But I'll buy it. I'll buy it. Okay. So the reason we invite people that have self-published or gone with another publisher is because if they don't know what it is to do it with impact, we're cheating them of that answer. So we're a community that actually supports a community that wants to make a difference in the world. Because every
Yes.
author wants to make a difference in the world. There's no distinction between those two. It's some of them can't make a difference in the world and they don't know how to. And so they get to experience this and they say, wow, can I either republish with Perfect Publishing or can I get the marketing aspect of it? And this is because if you market anything, it will succeed. Now you have to
And
market
as
with.
I told everybody there, Ken is a publisher, yes. But the reason I published with him and why I partnered with him for Amplifluence is he's a marketing person who happens to publish. And for those of you who have even thought about, writing a book and you've talked to publishers and you looked at Amazon and all that jazz, the thing is that anybody can print your book. How do you get it out? That's the biggest thing. And I have multiple books, and I can assure you it is not easy to take it out on your own and make your money back on just even the printing of it. And I have a huge network of people. And it was still difficult to get that book out. People are like, oh, that's a really pretty book, but no one buys it. Imagine if you're out there with your own book wondering how to get it out. That's what Amplifluence is about. That's what Perfect Publishing is about. We help you get the word out so that that precious baby you birthed doesn't just get handed to you and you don't know how to feed it.
I call it the Oprah effect.
How's that?
Well, if you publish your book and you say it's the greatest book it's ever been made on this topic, people go, okay, that's expected. But when Oprah says, this is the greatest book I've ever seen about queens with resilience, I guarantee you your life will be changed. All of a sudden, millions of people buy it.
Yes. Oh, Lauren says hi. She says, you are so inspiring. I'm excited about being a part of this in the future. Yes, Lauren, well, we all know you've got a couple of books in you. And
there's a new future we're going to be talking about very soon.
Yes, and Karen wants to make a difference in the world. You already are with your son. You both, you and Aiden already are.
My son.
Your son, Aiden. Your adopted son, Aiden. And speaking of this, before we go on to what else we did, no, I'll hold off on this one. So we did the extravaganza in DC. We toured the monuments. We went to the Library of Congress, took amazing pictures. Actually, I think the picture of the group of us in the Library of Congress is on my main page. I used it as my cover photo for a while.
Can you show it?
No.
Okay, just wondering. Okay. We will make sure the links are very available. Yeah. We went to another event after that.
Yes, we did. And that's what I'm getting to, because we went to Rock Your Life.
No, but there's a reason why we did it. DC and Dallas, they both start with D, and we never go from ADC to D. And this is D, dagnabbit.
Deswald. So Rock Your Life conference. Craig is just he's very hyper and he's got a lot of knowledge. He is like Ken. He's a marketing person. And so what he does is he teaches entrepreneurs how to market themselves in every aspect. But he's all about raising your brand. And the reason why he does this and his connection, why Craig Deswald, he was it the manager for Guns N' Roses and Air Supply. And if he can corral cats to that at that level, imagine what he can share and teach those of us who aren't cats.
Well, he has 250 marketing hacks that will change your income. Not change your life, because when you change your income, you change your life. He shares them very openly, and he shares his best ones. And I have to say, some of them I heard and I did, and they did change my life, my income. Other ones I did without knowing him, and I'm like, this dude is right on par. I mean, I went up to him, I said, I want to write a gratitude book, and all you do is just list all the people that are in your life that you care about. And he was like, "That's awesome." I go, "Well, I got the idea from you." And I love his stamps. Too bad stamp.com. They're going to come back. We have to put more pressure on the United States Postal Service because he used to put his pretty face on a
On a
stamp.
stand.
Oh, and I
And
love the fact that he showed the envelope with the one centers and he forms a smiley face. I mean, brilliant. I would
He's an insanely wonderful, brilliant nut, is what he is.
Can I
And
share the last? I have to share
he
one more.
attracts amazing people into that room. I mean, we met Dr. Fab, right? Mancini. We've met
Yes. We met
huh?
Steve Rizzo. Steve Rizzo. I want to share one more idea that he came up with that was
Wait, who else did we meet?
well, we met I mean Ken Walls. Ken Walls with his new digital card. I mean, you know, when you get cards and you throw them
And
away.
Glenn Moorpower.
Oh my God, Glenn. What a brilliant speaker. And he
Brilliant
says,
actor.
yes, but when he gets on stage, he says, I don't know what I'm going to talk about. So bear with me. I'm going to bring from my heart. And he does. And people are glued to every word he says.
Brilliant. I don't record speakers. I record him every time I see him because he drops so much wisdom. So speaking of that wisdom,
listen,
what else did Craig share?
Wait. I don't
Before you
record.
forget.
I don't record people recording speakers that they don't record. I recorded you recording a speaker. I was blown away by recording Glenn. Amazing.
What else did Craig share?
Well, I was going to share, but
I've got one in my head that I want to do. So you tell me what it is, and we'll see.
no, I want to tell you, but you wouldn't listen, so I don't remember.
I didn't think you would.
Okay.
One of the ideas he shares that I think is just absolutely brilliant. I'm going to have an open house for my book.
Yes, that's a great
I'm just going to say open house. And then when the people get to my house, I'm going to have all my books on a table and say, and here are my 14 books. And they're saying, I thought it was an open house. Yes, it's an open house for my books. I love it.
Yeah, he has so many good ideas. I mean, I like the one with reverse shoplifting. That's a great one. He puts his book in a bookstore. That's a good one. Oh, you can't say reverse.
Say that out loud.
Oh, okay. Let me say it lower. Reverse shoplifting. Acceptable?
It's brilliant.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't.
But anyways, well, we don't
want to let the cat out of the bag. He has 250. Come on. He has 250.
Yeah, but we don't want you have to go see Craig.
You do. And by the way, Rocktober is around the corner.
October's coming. I can't remember the other thing I want to tell you about. No, Craig's just awesome. The people he brings in are awesome. The room is just vibrant. And we were part of it. And it's always just amazing to be part of that journey. Now, the next thing I want to go to.
I will add that his family is there and he makes you feel like you're part of his family. I will add that.
He doesn't make you feel. You are.
Yes. Amen.
Yeah, you are. And I just forgot the other guy's name from Master Networks that I met. Oh,
Master
completely.
Network. Oh, Chaz Wilson?
Chaz Wilson, yes. Pretty cool.
Do not do a show with only yourself when you have someone else that can help you with answers.
Okay. Now, before we go to what's coming in our world, what we are putting together, and it's coming up fast, I want to run real quick through the birthdays because you have them, and we have a very special author on that list that I want to make sure we say happy birthday to.
So Bernie Flowers is running for a political office in Maryland, and he cares about taking good old Baltimore, that is in the number 1, 2, or 3 most dangerous city in the United States, number 25 at some points in the world, completely out of the list. And so I'm all for him because he really cares about safety. Havilah Malone is a future author for Dose of Hope.
Yep.
And you ready for this one?
Dinky says hi. Hey.
Laura.
Ducks.
And I got to say, her
book is called.
Millions have bought this book. Millions, and it's called I Love You More.
I Love You More.
And I Hug You More. And she has this new book about acceptance, and it's I am your world, and no, your world is me, something like that. But it really is amazing.
She writes children's books, and they're double-sided. So I Love You More from the mother or father's point of view. you flip the book and it's from the child's point of view. And she's just brilliant. She sold millions, and look her up because
Yes.
I love you
And
more.
Kenny loves those books.
No, I
Kenny
bet.
loves. Let's go with Alex.
Quick like a monkey. Alexander
Morozov. He is a photographer, happens to be Russian. He is the person that inspired me the most to become a photographer.
Cool.
He is an awesome guy. Giovanni Morato. He is a real estate investor. Super cool guy. I want him to do a book. Cedric Teamer, who's one of the DJs at Apps Entertainment. And Nancy Stemple, who has got a school that teaches outside the box learning, critical thinking, problem solving. And your friend, Zena Latrice, is this week. And I think, Joe Koronowski, he is one of the astronauts that went to the moon. And he is a really cool guy, author, speaker, and met him in Houston. Oh, last one. Okay. Roger Salam, I want you to meet him. He has a mastermind called the Winning Circle, and he goes on cruises with people that will blow your mind, kind of like the Craig's Duswalt. He attracts people that are at the highest level, and you just can't wait. And Marco Avila, I'll end with. He is a champion in Baltimore, again, to make Baltimore great.
And then last, and my only one that I'm pointing out today, my brother Troy. Happy birthday. His is on July 16th. And many of you have heard of Troy. I tell a lot of stories that involve my big brother that I followed and would follow over a cliff. That is Troy. So happy birthday to the man who helped me become who I am by making me stronger.
Well, you're going to laugh when you see that I did not include a couple people, because we do 7 days before our next show, right? So you need to meet Ken MacArthur, who has the movie Impact. And then there's a guy named Jackson Crisp. He's about 8'7". And if you stand next to him, unfortunately, his head gets cut off in most photos. Natasha Kapoor, who is a health person. But here is the person on the 18th, which is 7 days from now.
Angel Tetsi. She's my media expert.
Amen. And then, even though this is a day or two after, if we don't do a show next week because we're on the road, I just want to say, Troy, who was at the event, the DC Independence, remember him? He's a nut, and he has a science fiction book, and I do believe it'll become a movie. And you know what? He is so vital to Perfect Publishing, because he agrees that if you have the right marketing and you have the right message, impact will happen. It doesn't matter if your genre is children's books, sci-fi, personal development, you're going to make a difference. How about that? How about those apples?
I want to make sure I'm spelling Laura's name right.
Well, everyone wants that spelled correctly.
See if that goes through. There. I answered Karen's question. She wanted to know how to the author's name, so I just typed it into the chat there.
So we have so many more shows to do today, and
I know, but we got to get through this one, because you got to get off to do your show, because we have not spoken about what's coming up in the next 2 weeks. Well, actually, this week I'm leaving for New York, but that's for me, and I'm joining Dr. Shelley on a women's conference out there, but I'm singing with her, and it's going to be awesome. It's her birthday weekend. Dr. Shelley's birthday is July 13th.
Oh, wow. How cool
Dr.
is that?
Shelley Hipsky, yeah. And so I'll be with her for her birthday in New York for the rest of this week. And it's pretty amazing. She's a singer like me, and she's an amazing speaker.
And you met her at Christoph's.
I met her at this event that we're about to talk about, the Ultimate Speaker Competition. And I met her last year, July, when I won the Ultimate Speaker Competition. And now at the anniversary, I'm going back to the Ultimate Speaker Competition with Christoph
Wyman.
And so we'll be in Philly, July 22 to 24. I'll be a judge at this event because it's my anniversary of winning the competition. And Ken will be doing the photographs and, of course, building his Keep Smiling book from the audience there because Christoph is making a Keep Smiling book, right?
Yeah, and yes, he is. He's in the New Dose of Hope. And we're probably republishing all his books, it appears. But, you brought so many people from Colorado Springs into the Ultimate Speaker Competition experience, and they've become phenomenal authors, leaders, speakers because of that experience. So cool.
I think they already were. They just didn't know they were until they got pushed a little
I
bit.
totally agree. I totally agree. I mean, we're talking about an orange switch. That's all we're talking about.
Yes. Switch. Okay, now the other thing is, because we're out there in Philadelphia for the Ultimate Speaker Competition, July 22nd through 24th. If you want to know more about that, you can write me or go to the ultimatespeakercompetition.com, and I can connect you to Christoph. Ken can connect you to Christoph. You can come as an audience member, or better yet, come out and compete, because that is getting out of your comfort zone and being the best version of you by finding out how far you can stretch yourself. Yeah, Mr. Picture Taker. And
Well,
then, because we're out.
they can get all these money shots of them being powerful on stage. That was that cute.
Yes. Oh, that's a click. Okay, but because we're out there in Philly for the 22nd through the 24th, well, if we're out there, we might as well make it a trip. So we are doing the Philadelphia Freedom and Liberty Tour. And
Yes,
the reason we're doing this July 25 to 27, right after the Ultimate Speaker Competition, is because so many people saw us in DC and at the monuments and at the Library of Congress, right? And they said, I missed that. I want to do it. So Ken, what are we doing?
Well, some of the things we're still arranging them, but it looks like it's all very possible that's all going to come together. So here we go. One is, the Love, LOVE, that's Philadelphia. We're going to do a photo with authors with their book, with the love. And I mean, isn't that symbolic that what they love, they write about, and what they write about, they love to share with the world? And then the Rocky thing, going up the steps, the Philly cheesesteak, having a Philly cheesesteak literally jammed all the way in your mouth, and you have your book next to it. I mean, perfect. And then Benjamin Franklin. The Franklin Museum is amazing. I don't know if it's at the pinnacle of Library of Congress, but I'll say it is really, really something Kenny loves. So I know that that's already a barometer of impact, beauty, and experience. And then we're going to New York. Yeah. But more in a train, not so much in a train going up, but there are not that many hills. So it's just really more a train going straight to New York. And we're going to go to the Statue of Liberty for a lovely author, Roz Mansouri.
The Answer for Abigail.
Yes. And then we're going to minimally see a ton of authors. I don't know what a ton means yet. I mean, if you weigh authors and they happen to be like 200 pounds each, we're going to see at least 10 authors, because that's 2,000 pounds right there. But we're looking at 30 to 50 authors, Times Square, to experience what you did. How many people commented and liked on just one of your posts? Forget about all of them put together. I mean, I know put together it's a crazy number, but just one of them, I recall it being a rather large number.
Yeah, I think it was like 35K.
35K, yeah, that's right. And you had other people. I think if you add it all up, it could be 5K. I mean, it could be, right? Am I exaggerating?
It was more than 5K.
Okay, good. So that isn't to say that you may have that same impact, but you will have one of the biggest iconic experiences of seeing in the big lights, where people that are really connected to what's happening in the world are in Times Square and they see your book. I have been talking to Janelle Harris, who is helping us create the PR for this experience in New York. And she's not putting a limit to it. We can bring 50 authors. And if you're kind of like a card deck and you're like, well, what about 51 and 52? Yes, we will make sure you get into. So it's not a limit. It's not a scarcity. It's, do you want to experience and share with your audience that you're playing big? Because here's the thing. If you don't share with your audience you're playing big, they can never take you seriously. They can't. How can they say that you're going to do the next thing?
For more information on the Philadelphia Freedom Liberty Tour, Ken and I literally just thought of it yesterday.
2 days ago.
Was it 2 days? Oh, yeah. Yesterday we had a day off. It was 2 days ago when we were leaving Dallas. So I don't even have an Eventbrite made, nothing. No. But I want you to know, if you're in that area, or if you can get to the area, Philadelphia is where it's starting.
Oh, and Vinny is going to be part of certain parts of this, and he is showing off. A lot of people are confusing him with John Travolta. This is crazy. I mean, he was walking around DC and people thought that they saw John Travolta, and it is his message about vitality. And is there a better message, honestly, besides playing big in the world than playing with big energy for a long time, to live a life you love for a longest time you possibly can? Isn't that cool?
Yes, it is.
I love Vinny. I love him. He is. I mean, look at that lovely smile.
He is such a great guy. Such
He
a
is.
nice man. Facebook user, which I think is Heather, says the best cheesecakes are in the neighborhood corner stores, not Pat's or Gino's.
And I don't know if Janice is going to be there, but she goes to New York a lot for fashion events.
Yeah. From the
And
ashes I rise.
and in a perfect world, everyone will be there that wants to show off their book on Times Square. In a perfect world, I got to give a big shout out to Alima, Dr. Alima. Since we're doing birthdays and books, and then the event, I just want to stop. And she was awesome. And then, thank you so much, Michelle. This is going to be one of the more exciting. I don't know. It's not a trilogy. It's like 5 books she's going to be doing, and one of them is
Gail Hamilton is amazing.
yes.
Amazing. I met her right about the beginning of the pandemic, and I worked with her through the pandemic as a speaker coach. And she is just the most phenomenal woman. And I can't wait for her to do more with you and the projects that are coming up that you two have conjured up. Keep in mind, Gail Hamilton, Soaring into Greatness, okay? Because she's coming.
Yes, she is.
And I can see her traveling often with me.
Can we do a lot of people are writing me. I mean, a lot. When I say a lot, I'm talking about 1 or 2 people are writing. Can you go under 1 minute for your show? And so far, we haven't been successful. Can we try again today? I think we can do it. I mean, we've had some practice, and let's try. Let's try and do it later today.
Well, I'd like to do it in the next 3 minutes if we possibly can. Or do you have your other show to jump to?
I do, but we probably should do it after that show. Is that possible?
Yeah.
Because I want to take that whole show to really drill down. What can I say in seconds I could turn this into an under-minute show?
Okay, so I will talk to you. We'll come back on with Amplifluence later today after his other show. Yes, we are showaholics. We do a lot of shows. We'll come on and come and support us and help us get under a minute on a podcast.
But we do shows responsibly. So when you say showaholic, just understand that we do them responsibly.
We do show responsibly. Yes. Thank you so much for joining us on Amplifluence. Amplifluence.com. I'm actually Dr. Michelle. It sounds so great.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much, sir.
And and please let us know if you'd like to join in amplifying the world with people you know, because it's not all about you. It's about the people that you want to celebrate that are making a difference in the world.
Yes. And remember, if you're interested in being a speaker or coming along with us, come join us at the Ultimate Speaker Competition in Philadelphia, July 22nd to 24th, and then join us for the Philadelphia Freedom Tour and Liberty Tour, July 25, 27. And we're just going to make a party people happen and go up on the train and just hit all the ones and then come back down and go to the Library of Congress. It'll be fun. So we'll talk to you all later and catch us when we do our show under 1 minute. Take care, everybody.
Yeah, bye-bye.
How do I end this? Oh, there we go. Bye.